Hey, yeah, that's there. Sweet. Okay, now it's time for a little mini fresh marks for the week. Now, with Dark Tidings. We actually had a good number of decks in the last couple weeks, 16, 17. So let's get right to them. I haven't had a chance to really dig into them, so it'll be fun to check them out. Give me just a second. Okay. So, first deck. Rykla Christina Zyla, an 85 SAS mass mutation deck being sold by Kante Kale Top Decks. We have a Armory Officer Nell with, count 'em, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 upgrades. We have a double Lethalogica, a Chronos with 8 draw pips, a Cyberclone, a double QMax. Let's check out where these draw pips went. Ooh, 2 draw pips on Forge Compiler. 2 draw pips on an Infernus, but no way to bring it back. Okay. We have a Implosion, a Infernus, a Essence Scale, but only 14 creatures. Dominator Bubble. Lots of ways to kill, although actually I think the C number is overrated. The red alert here is probably decent because you only have 14 creatures. Interesting deck. All right, next up we have Zeta-Tien, the Dog Walker, a 74 SAS DT deck. This has a listed price of $40 by Swiperno. Swiperno. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. There's Logo Star Alliance Untamed with a Legacy WoW bounty, and that's really good with 2 Deepwater Gruins in that house as well. It also says Witch of the Dawn, Keyfrog, Reaper Sow, and Star Alliance. We have double Technobabble, Sabotage Mission, Selective Preservation, Grand Alliance Council, CR Officer Hawkins, double Ambervac, and a Teresa. And logos, we have a library card with Theory or Conjecture and a Forgive or Forget. Fila, P.I. Swebin, 17 Ember Pips overall, plus that wild bounty. A little bit of recursion, a little bit of speed. Decent creature control. And really good Ember generation. That looks like a pretty good deck. And a Keyfrog. Is there a way to kill the Keyfrog in Untamed? No, there's not. But still pretty good. DT Crush, totally. High E, high C. Only 12 creatures. Wow. Yeah. It's not going to be owning the board, that's for sure. Okay, that's a pretty cool deck. $40 could be yours. Another one by Swiperno, a 72 SAS DT, Angel Tower, the Warlord. Being listed for $25. Also a double Ambervac and a double Unity or Discord with a CR Officer Hawkins. And I guess only one upgrade that actually gives you Ember. 17 creatures overall. We have double booby trap, ransack, stir up trouble, shout out council, and in logos we have Eureka, forgive or forget, phase shift, submersive principle, theory or conjecture, PI Swebbin, a little bit of speed again. The C here is not that good actually. You gotta like really get good value out of the mind bullets, but no board wipes at all. But good E and A. So that's the Warlord. Can be yours for $25. Next up we have Sokolov, Greenhall's Elder, a 70 SAS DT. Sorry, there we go. Let me move this around so it makes more sense. Crash with 2 Unity or Discord sound fun. Yeah, definitely. Okay, and this one also has some burst. It's got double cross porpoises, Reaper Show, Fangtooth Cavern, Ritual of Life with Chelonia, Deepwater Gruin, a Gabuk with a drop pip. That's really cool. So you could play Deepwater Gruin, you could play Ritual of Life to destroy it. Oh wait, you'd have to do that a different way. Well, I guess if you already had it in your discard pile, you could put it on the top, play Gabuk, and draw it. So you can't play it twice in one turn. It'd have to be multiple turns there. In the Sanctum, we have Light Everlasting. Let's see, what Sanctum creatures would we want to bring back? We have Badgemagus, Bulwark, Larry of the Lake, Numquid the Fair. Ooh, that's really nice to be able to bring back. So you have a board wipe on demand, more or less. That's pretty cool. Also, Taxing Journey, Shifting Battlefield, Heal or Harm, Radiant Truth, and Logos, Eureka, Mind Bullet, Science, Double, Submersive Principle, and Eddie, Isotropic Core, PI Sweven, Static Charge. Alright, that one's got a little bit of everything. I like the potential ability to bring back Numquid the Fair when you want with Light Everlasting. That's pretty cool. And that one's got a listed price of only $18. Seems like a pretty cool deck for only $18. There's actually a bunch of DT decks also listed by Sweeper, either Sweeper Alias or Sweeper Arias, but I had heard from some of their decks that someone had reached out to them and they're like, oh, I don't know where that deck is. I'll have to see if I can find it. So I didn't list all those decks just because I'm concerned that they might not actually be buyable. All right, on to, yeah, a lot of low creature decks. There's been some really low numbers, but we're going with a big one now. 20 creatures being sold by Dilly73. Crawley, the Minister of Southput, 86S Mass Mutations. It's got Eaton's Jar, Mark of Dis, Double Infernus, Triple Infernus. One of them is enhanced. Obsidian Forge, Mindfire, Break Key. Let's see. Just check out some of these enhancements. The Infernus has a draw. Anguish has a damage pip. That is beautiful. Okay. Curse of Vanity has Chew Ember and a capture? Wow. Ooh, Enchana Hubris with the capture pip. That is also beautiful. This has some really good placement of pips. And the Saurian double Fausta Great, being protected by both Grimlox's Dux and the Chew Ludos. Citizen Trick spoils a battle. aforementioned Chana Hubris, a Curse of Vanity, Beware the Eyes. And in Starlines, we have double Anthony, double Subject Kirby, a few upgrades, Hadron Collusion, Subdue, very low creature control, super high Amber control. E is okay, Disruption is pretty good, Speed is pretty low. But that creature control could get you in trouble. You need to start flooding the board and use that for your C. And that is Crawley. All right, next up. And so we've seen this one before, and the reason I brought it up is because it's got a new seller. This was the crazy one that I think was listed for 1,000. So this is Homer Herat du Tade Eternel. So let's go back in the history. So this was being sold first back February 1st by Dennis Cambria for $1,100. I'm not sure if this sold was actually correct because I think it was listed again. Yeah, so it was listed again on April 4th for $1,000, also by Dennis Cambria. And then I think there was a couple times it was listed where I just didn't put it again because we had seen it a few times. But then now it's being listed by a rent-along. And it's got a high offer of 200 euros by Frozen Tauntaun, which was rejected. But this deck that was listed for 1,000 apparently was bought by a rent-along. Now, how much was it bought for? I don't know. But now they're trying to sell it. So that's pretty interesting. That was the only reason I brought it up. I'm sure they didn't pay 1,000 for it, but they bought it and now they're selling. Now with a rent-along, I'm not sure how much they actually play and collect decks for playing. I'm sure they play, but it seems like I've seen that a few times with them where they buy a deck and then they turn around and sell it pretty soon after that. Now, it could be that they played it, they don't like it, they want to sell it, or could they be trying to flip it? I don't know. But anyway, Homer is back up for sale. What's up, Decompose? That's right, Friday night, we're going to have a real-life Keyforge tournament. Unfortunately, me and one of my buddies don't have WoW. Have you got your WoW yet? Shugu was saying you had pledged. Dude, that's so cool. I didn't know you were gonna be there, but I was hoping you would be because Keyforge. Yeah, I am hyped. It's gonna be a little bit nuts because we're gonna bring the kids over and have to put them to bed there, but I think it'll be fine. Put them down, and then it's tournament time. Okay, cool. Yep, and Shugu and I have also not received our pledge. So either way, we're going to be playing some Keyforge, some sealed Keyforge, probably either AOA or Mass Mutation, because I think me and Garrett have a lot of stock of those two. So it's going to be fun. And we might be teaching some new players how to play as well. There's some people that haven't played as much, so that would be cool too. Let's see if we can grow our Keyforge scene here. Super excited about that. Nice to see you. Can't wait to see you on Friday. Definitely. Friday hype! Yeah. All right. So, yeah, the next deck we have for sale is being sold by Elu. And it's a 93 SAS Coda deck. And this deck is pretty nuts. It's got 4 Witches of the Eye, 2 Hunting Witch, Giant Sloth, Dust Pixie, double Big Twid, Scout Mimicry. In Shadows, it's got double 2 Measure Protect, double Relentless Whispers, Ghostly Hand, Nerve Blast, Pawn Sacrifice. And then in Logos, it's got Library Access, Phase Shift, Positron Bolt, Double Twin Bolt, Remote Access, Mother. Really nice looking deck. Lots of Expected Ember. Some pretty good Ember control. The creature control, I think, is pretty weak. I think it's actually a little overrated. Lots of great ping damage, but no board wipes at all. So if you run into a big Saurian or Sanctum board, this deck is gonna struggle. But it's fast. Pretty cool deck. It doesn't have a listed price, but they have had a €200 offer, which was ignored. It's expired. $200 offer from Xander for the Wind. So apparently they want more than €200 for it. So that's Opale. All right, next up we have Sherman El Escaleno de la Camara, an 80th SAS World Skull deck being sold by Jose79 for €220. This has 27 expected efficiency with 2 Captain Valjericos, 3 Eddies, a Memory Chip, a Tautau Vapors, and a Legacy Director, an Igor. Oh, this is a really cool deck. A Transporter Platform, a Stealth Mode, a Tabor. Ooh, and then Untamed, we have double Ghost Hawk with Song of the Wild. Ooh, and I missed the Comm Officer Kirby. Actually, this deck is really cool, but it's only got 1.6D. 1.6C. Inca can stun something, and Stunner, once it's on a creature, can stun something. That's it. No way to hurt creatures. Oh. It actually looks like a really fun kind of board-based deck, but no C at all. I mean, but if you start with a Valderico behind a Kirkar, I don't know, you can start getting nuts there. So that's listed for €220. Hey, what's up, Dinobots? Mimicry. It does have the Mimicry. That is your C right there. You get a Mimicry, your board wipe. It does have a somewhat beefy board. Panpaka Jaga for skirmish. You can fight for it. The fittest. Gotta throw hands. Gotta throw hands for sure. Looks like a fun deck. If they ever have like a jank week for ABR where it's like, less than 5C or less than 3C, that one's probably pretty good. All right, next up we have Guarda del Zoologico El Plateado, an 86S mass mutation, also listed for €220 by Jose79, and also a double Captain Valjericó deck. Whoa! This one has a cool 18 efficiency and a whole 7.5 creature control. So much creature control. This one has even more creatures and a mutagenic serum with 9 mutants. Ooh, and lots of efficiency and Stirring Grave. Double Stirring Grave, double Infernus. Or sorry, a lot of disruption. Markadis. Maleficorn with 8 damage pips. It's got a Eclectic Inquiry, a Effervescent Principle. Yeah, this looks like a pretty cool deck. Obsidian Forge with 22 creatures is really good. And then you can Stirring Grave them back. Yeah. Ooh, a Fission Bloom? What can we Fission Bloom with this guy? Any good enhancements? The draw on the mutagenic serum's alright. You get a Ember and a draw. Yeah, I guess that's it. Oh wow, a 4 damage pip Captain Valerico? That's nuts. And a double draw Obsidian Forge. Crazy enhancements. Alright, on to another Coda deck. In Talbot, Sergente di Scarpaviola. An 87 SAS Coda. Dis Logo Shadows, the classic combination. Oh, listed for only 100 euros. We have Maverick, Grabber, Jammer, and Shadows. Also Ghostly Hand, Hidden Stash, Miasma, Nerve Blast. One last job with only 4 Shadows creatures. But you probably don't mind purging your bad penny. Double Poison Wave, Oubliette. Oubliette can be pretty good against eddies and other annoying creatures like that. In logos, we have library access with a phase shift and wild wormhole. We have Howling Pit. We have lab work, interdimensional graph, strange gizmo. And in disc, control the weak, gateway, hysteria with double Schuler, a dust imp, double succubus, pandemonium, tendrils, dominator bubble, the terror. Yeah, that looks like a pretty solid deck. 17 Ember Pips. That can be yours for 100 euro. You can Hysteria to return captured Ember with phase shift before your interdimensional graph. That's pretty cool. Plus, if you pair it with a library access turn, you can play out your 3 Logos creatures, phase shift them, and play them again. And if it's late in the game, you can get a lot of Ember off of Dr. Escatera. Lots of cool plays. The captain has a shoot first policy. Yeah. Captain Valerico. 4 damage pips. Choo choo, choo choo. Alright. So that's pretty cool Coda deck for 100 euros. Somebody buy it, says Dinobot. Somebody buy it. Okay, next up we have a 250 euro deck being sold by Etinciel. I'm butchering that name and I'm sorry. It's Anna Yored, an 88 SAS mass mutation deck. And what sticks out big here is a double Dark Harbinger with 7 actions. Double Mutation of Cunning, double Mutation of Fury, Mutation of Extinction, Vault's Blessing, Resurgence to bring them back if you need it. Also Vault's Blessing with 11 mutants, a Fangtooth, a Gloriana's Attendant. In Logos we have a Chronos with 3 drop hips. We'll have to check the drop hips. Effervescent Principle, Lithologica, Bob Bookton, Novo Dynamo, Daughter. And in Dis, we have Markadis, Essence Scale, Dark Minion, and we have some Sins. Wow. Double Dark Harbinger and a Sins deck. Gluttony, Greed, Sloth, and Wrath. That's pretty good. Although Gluttony doesn't have any, like, synergy with, like, other capturing and things like that. But the Greed is always nice, putting it behind Wrath. This deck is packed. I mean, the Double Dark Harbinger in the Sins by itself is probably worth 250 euros to some collector. Let's check out where all those draw pips landed. We got one on a Torado for a Kronos. And then we have one on a Dark Minion and one on a Market Dis. We have a double Ember Fangtooth Cavern. Very tempting for Reclaimed by Nature for somebody, but not that we have it. Okay, lots of expected Ember with this one. Some creature control, and some Ember control too. You probably want to hold your Effervescent Principle to have really good value there. Cool deck. What's up, Ashron? We are up to a cool double Dark Harbinger Sins deck, and there's been some cool decks tonight. If you what you missed was some DT decks. One thing I noticed when doing fresh marks, my limit's 85 SAS. We're not going to get any DT decks that way, so I created a new search specifically for DT decks. We went over a few. Yeah, so that's exciting. And they were some fun looking ones, and they were actually for really cheap. One was listed for 40, one was listed for 20, one was listed for 18. So some deals out there. All right, next up is the sidekick that calms portals at 87 cents Worlds Collide, being sold by Zeramis for 200 euros. We have a triple Calm Officer Kirby, double Lay of the Land, stealth mode, triple Molina. That is really annoying. We also have Rooted on Auxiliary, a Falaphosaurus with double Golden Spiral. That's sweet. Double Theros Centurion, double Imperial Scutum, double Imperium, an Axiom, and in Logos we have a Positron Bolt, a Tau Tau, Wild Wormhole, double Babbling Bibliophile, a Dr. Millie, Mini Group Think Tank, Neutron Shark, Quant, and double Wormhole Technician. Lots of doubles and triples in this deck. 28 efficiency. This wants to flood the board. That Saurian can go wild with those double golden spirals and the Imperial Scutums and the Imperiums and the Falaphosaurus. And yeah, you probably have to hold the Gallum to be really smart with using it. Yeah, one of a good Zeramis flood deck. 200 euros, the sidekick that calms portals. All right, next up we have Hungry Tomiko of the Laboratory, being sold by Anto 2290. We have Logo Star Alliance Untamed, 85 SAS Mass Mutation. We have a double Bouncing Death Cork, that's sweet. Double Eclectic Inquiry, Neurosiphon, Positron Bolt, Autovac, Double Bot Bookton, Tarato, QMEX. Star Alliance has a Matter Maker we have 4 upgrades here. We don't have any of the creature upgrades. We also have a double Sensor Chief Garcia and a Subject Kirby. And in Untamed, we have triple Pismire, Lost in the Woods, Dark Fairy, Keyfrog. We can kill Keyfrog with Amber Lucian, so we have a way to kill it in Untamed. Reclaimed by Nature, Lost in the Woods, Ghost Surge. Alright, so that's Hungry Tomiko. Ooh, next up, we gotta check the translator. We have Galloping, Mrs. Ward. We have a 90 SAS Smash Mutation deck being sold by Terry 2001, aka Brian Gogo. We have, let's see, what do we got here? We have some Sins, Desire, Gluttony, and Wrath. Not the best Sins lineup, although the Gluttony could definitely go off because we have lots of capture in this deck. We also have a enhanced Relentless Creeper, a excuse me, Lord Invidious. Ooh, a Grim Reminder to bring it all back. And Saurian double Spoils of Battle will help load up the creatures for Gluttony. Double Ludo, Saurus Rex, Demosaurus, Dreadbone Decimus, Humble, Defense Initiative, and an Untamed. We have a Dark Harbinger with 5 actions, although one of them is Savage Clash. We also have Punctuated Equilibrium, Resurgence with double Fandangle. That's pretty good. Cephalois, Dark Fairy, Key Frog. We could kill the Key Frog with Savage Clash here. And if we also have either Gloriana's Attendant or Dark Fairy out. So it's possible. And we also have Desire for another key cheat. Although probably not quite as good. Let's see where some of those pips landed on this one. The Relentless Creeper's got an Ember. That's pretty sweet. Savage Clash has an Ember. That's not so sweet. And the Wrath has a Capture, and the Defense Initiative has a Capture. Alright, that's a pretty cool deck. 90 sass. Alright, next up we have Civil Leech Labir, a 96 sass mass mutation. Yes, the last 4 are being sold by Jaspa. And this one is listed for $1,000. This one has 4 Infernus. Also a Lord Invidious, a Pain Mail, a Dinobot, a Stirring Grave, a Autoencoder with a library card, double mutagenic serum with 7 mutants, a Chronos, a Zenzi, Effervescent Principle, Eclectic Increte, a Enhance Causal Loop, we gotta check that out. Then in Untamed, we have double Lost in the Woods, double Ghost Hawk, a Fandangle, a Demo Beast, and a Resurgence to bring back some of that good stuff. 21 creatures overall. Let's see where some of those pips laid. Let's see what the Causal Loop has. Ooh, the Causal Loop has an Ember. Very nice. The Pain Mail has a damage. That's pretty cool too. Resurgence has Chew Draw Pip, so you're trying to get value on your Chronos. Probably want to go into Untamed after that. No draw pips in Logos. 1,000 is too much. Yeah, I think that's too much for most people. 4 Infernus. Alright, and then the last 3 decks are all listed for $300. The first one is Livia R. Combo Slap to 6. 86S Mass Mutation. We have a double Infernus deck, double Cinder, double Dominator Bubble with Stirring Grave, Shadow of Dis, Obsidian Forge. We have a double Chronos, double Group Think Tank, double Research Smoko, double Lethalogica with an Autoencoder and an Animator. And this Diametric Charge, I believe, also has this Capture Pip. So with Animator, you could potentially capture onto one of your artifacts, which is cool. You could at least do it once. In Saurian, we have Ancient Power, Curse of Vanity, double Citizen Strix, Saurus Rex, double Theros Centurion, Senator Quintina, Siren Horn. Alright, let's see where some of these pips landed. Yeah, where's Dick rolling at for that $1,000 deck? For sure. Oh, one Infernus has a damage, one Infernus has a draw, which is pretty good since you have a Stirring Grave here. The Cinder has 2 draw pips. So definitely with your double Chronos, you probably want to be going into Dis. the aforementioned capture pip on diametric charge. All right, so that's Livia being listed for $300. Next up is Frau B. Sababi, an 86S mass mutation. Excuse me. Okay, we have a Bouncing Death Cork, another causal loop that's enhanced, double Ethologica, Munchling, double Titan Engineer, triple Praefictus Ludo, double Citizen Shrix, City-State Interest with Ancient Power. We have a Lost in the Woods, double Reclaimed by Nature, Savage Clash, Ghost Hawk, Dark Fairy. So listed again for $300. Let's see what's on this. Causal Loop, another Ember on a Causal Loop. Very nice. So that is Frau B. Sapabi. And then last deck of the week, an 85 SAS Coda deck, also listed for $300. We have Screaming Caparia of the Minefield. In Logos, double Effervescent Principle, a Lab Work, a Phase Shift, a Wild Wormhole, double Mother, a Psychic Bug, double Titan Mechanic. We'll keep the Untamed to last because it's pretty nuts. In Shadows, we have that's pretty nuts too. We have a Bait and Switch, Ghostly Hand, double Nerve Blast, Booby Trap, Oubliette, Poison Wave, Too Much to Protect, Skeleton Key, Old Bruno, Silvertooth. Pretty much all of those cards are good. And then Untamed, we have triple Dust Pixie with both Nature's Call and Lost in the Woods and a Key Charge and a Mimicry, Nocturnal Maneuver, Ritual of the Hunt, Dew Fairy, Loop of the Scarred, and Way of the Bear. 20 Ember Pips overall. Lots of ways to play them again. 31 expected Ember, and pretty good Ember control. The creature control is a little bit weak. No real board wipes. It's a decent amount of bounce, but you get a bunch of big creatures out there, it won't be able to handle it. But that could be yours for 300 euros. This one just wants the speed to the victory before the board can do anything. All right, so that is another week of fresh marks. So let's see, what do we have coming up? Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific, we have episode 2 of Zocktails, and we're going to have Zach Armstrong from Call of Discovery. Maybe he'll tell us all about his new podcast, which is launching next month. We'll see. I'll ask him. But he's always fun to talk to. So be there, 4 p.m. Friday for episode 2 of Zocktails. Looking forward to that one. NKFL is off this week, so we'll have another match next week, I believe, versus Karen. So she is always running some really cool decks. And then in ABR next week, we have Oubliette as the format. So lots of fun stuff coming up. I have not had my tracking notice yet for my pledges, so no fun with that yet. But as mentioned previously, also Friday night, going to a Keyforge tournament. That's going to be sweet. Just with a bunch of friends and probably some new people, new to Keyforge, so hopefully growing the game a little bit too. Alrighty. But with that, of course,
this is Keyforge.
And that's a stream. Thanks everybody for watching. As always, forge responsibly, and I'll see you next time. Let me pull up the old outro music. Thanks everybody. Have a good one.